Good morning. I'm Dani Daniels. Today is Thursday, December 13th. Last night, I was talking to a fellow author who has also self published. She was asking me some questions. She asked me, don't you feel like you wasted your money self publishing? No, I actually don't. And I did spend a good portion. I spent about 5,000. Have I recouped 5,000? Absolutely not, not even close. And the reason why I don't feel like I wasted my money is because I knew nothing. This was a new experience for me. I know I have a passion for writing. I love writing. And my sister was like, write something that we can appreciate, that we can sink our teeth into to read. And my best friend, he's a millionaire, literally. He's like, where's the book? Where's the book? What's taking you so long? You should be a millionaire yourself by now. And I'm like, well, I've been busy. Busy what? I said, well, I've been busy. I have a good job. I'm a wife. I'm a mother. And he goes, and you're a writer who isn't writing. Right. So after I visited him at his penthouse in New York, I came home and I stayed true to my word and I started writing. So when I decided to self publish, I didn't do a whole lot of research. And I'm not one to do a whole lot of research in things I'm not interested in, which is probably folly on my part. Because writers, in my mind, write. And so that's what I did. I wrote. I didn't think about marketing. I didn't think about really publishing. I didn't think about the industry itself. And so after I finished writing, I'm like, well, I want the world to be exposed to what I've written because, of course, I think it's brilliant. It's a phrase that we live by. What manner of love is this? You say you love me. Do you love me? And when you mistreat somebody, yet you still say, I didn't mean to hit you, baby. I love you. Really? What manner of love is this? It can apply to so much. Oh my gosh. And the sexuality, finger looking good. So yeah, of course, I wanted readers to experience the thoughts that came out of my head. So without any research, and didn't ask any questions. And this is the thing about questions. You don't know you need to ask a question if you don't know what to ask. So if I think I know what I'm doing, why would I ask a question? I got this. It might even be the slowest process in the world, but if it's the only process I know and I believe in my head that it's right, what's going to prompt me to ask a question? I won't ask questions. So I didn't know what questions to ask. And with what I was doing, I didn't know that I needed to ask questions. And had I known, well, hindsight is 2020. So did I feel like my initial $5,000 was a waste? No. Maybe it was wasteful, but I don't think it was a waste because I didn't know anything about editing. And there's so many different types of editing. You can't just say, here, edit my book. Well, what kind of editing do you want? Some people will do, and I don't know all the definitions or how they explain it. All I know is I was offered three different forms of editing for my book through a self-publisher that I chose. And I chose line by line editing, which means exactly what it says. They edit your work line by line. I'm a writer. I'm not an editor. I tried to prove my own work. That's an impossibility. So if something's missing, your brain knows what's supposed to be there. So your brain will put in its place what should be there. Syntax errors, all of that. I I wrote. So I appreciated the investment of editing. So and they gave me for me what was promised in my package. The whole editing process, what they didn't tell me, they rushed me through my work. They're like, are you almost finished? Are you ready? Go ahead, submit it, submit it, submit it, because they're in the business to make money. They want to get paid. So they tell me, don't worry about it. Don't worry about, if it's not really finished, complete. Don't worry about it if you're not through with your self-proofing, your self-editing. Just submit us some material. We'll edit it for you. But what they don't tell you is that they will only edit your work one time. So if you rush and submit your work and it's not edited to the degree and level which you can do yourself, and you go ahead and submit it, of course you're going to need to do some proofing and some rewrites. They're going to charge you for that. They don't tell you that. And they're going to charge you up the yang for that shit. Do be careful and don't be rushed. Take your time. Now, that's a valuable, valuable lesson. So I hope you heard me. If you choose to self publish and they rush you about getting your material in, take your time, proof and edit to the degree which you are satisfied. Then you release your work, because the next round of edits, there will be no discounts. They're going to charge you quite a bit. I think it was something like they said to me they wanted to charge me 36 cents per word. And the last 2 chapters of my book was not edited to my satisfaction when I submitted it. So I had to go elsewhere for the last 2 chapters. But was I satisfied with the work that was returned to me? Absolutely. I was 100% satisfied. And the writer, not the writer, but the editor who was working with my work, her name was the same as mine. So I'm like, oh, yay, D people are great people. So that was a thrill for me. So I finally got and they also didn't do this, which was disappointing. In my mind, when you say edit to me, I'm not thinking you're just gonna edit the internal gallery. I'm thinking you are going to edit the totality of the work. They didn't edit my cover. So when the first book was sent to me, my cover prints were incorrect. So I had to pay to have that work edited and then have my book re-released. And there's also something, and I wish, hold on a second, let me get my book out, because I need to talk to you about something else I learned through my editing process. I learned so much. I had a young lady tell me, oh, you should write a book about all the stuff you learn. And yeah, true. She's like, I'd buy it. And I'm like, yeah, writing a book about all the stuff I learned would be great. But here's the thing. I don't want to write about all the stuff I learned. I want to write about all the juicy fantasies still in my head. Okay, here it is. Can you see this? Okay, down here, this little barcode. I don't know if that's reading backwards, but there's this little ISBN number. That's everything. That ISBN number and the barcode, the value of your book is attached to it. So when you self-publish, your self-publishing company will give you a price that they think that your book should go for. Now, this is one thing, this is a piece of advice that I did not heed. Again, this was my first time out. I didn't heed it because I didn't understand. I didn't know to ask the questions. And so you want to think, my book is going to do great. My book is going to sell. You're lucky because you're an unknown author. You're lucky to sell 50 copies. But the fantasy and the thrill of your mind and the wanderlust doesn't really process that information. You're thinking, oh, my book is going to get out there. I'm going to market my book to Oprah Winfrey. I'm going to market my book to Goodreads and all these other, and it's going to be in the library. It's going to be in the grocery store. It's going to be in bookshops. No, it ain't. Mm-mm. Yeah, it's going to be on Amazon.com. Oprah ain't thinking about your book, boo-boo. Apologies, but seriously, this barcode and this IBM number, it's everything. Your book pricing is built into this barcode, and this barcode is attached to this IBM number. It does not change. The only way to change the price of your book is to have a second reprint of your book. So you'd have to get the second edition to get new pricing, to get a new ISBN number, because this number is registered in the book industry or whatever they call it. I don't know. But it's attached. It's permanent. It's stuck. So if your book is priced at $19.99, it stays at $19.99. And as a new reader, if you have a book that's selling for $19.99, it's going to be kind of hard for somebody who doesn't know you to go online and buy your book for $19.99, and they're not even sure they're going to enjoy that read. And the other thing that I stopped saying, and I was on the verge of saying this, the advice that I didn't take, she told me some people, some writers allow their ebooks to be free. You can choose to do that, or you can choose to allow your ebook to be priced at $3.99 or $4.99, something like that. Well, I chose to allow my ebook to be priced at, I believe it's $3.99, and I did that because I'm like, most people are reading books electronically. If I'm going to make any money, it's probably not going to be on that printed copy. It's probably going to be on the ebook. Well, here's the thing: you're a new author. You don't have the exposure yet that you need for people to go out and say, "Yeah, I'm gonna buy this ebook." It would be good marketing and in your best interest to allow your book to be free on ebook. That way you get the exposure that you need. It puts you out there so that someone could pick up your book for free and sample your work and get to know you as an author. I would recommend that. I would highly recommend that. Had I known what I know now, hindsight is 2020, my ebook would be for free. And this is how I learned about the ISBN number. I learned because I called my publishers and I was like, I think my book is overpriced and I'd like to reprice. And they're like, you can't. My price is stuck. You'd have to go with another book company and do a second edition, release a second edition. So yeah, if you self-publish and then you want to do a second edition to change your pricing, they're going to charge you anywhere from $1,500 to $3,000. No. I've already got that initial investment out there, so that's not going to happen. So then your pricing is stuck. And then that also removes you from your audience because the pricing has just priced you out of the market. And it's horrible. And there's so much advice that I have to give you writers. I'm going to stop right here because I don't want to overwhelm you with all the information that I have. And I have a wealth of information. I did not make a written entry into our book. Still don't have a title. Still working on it. I did do a little bit of writing today. This morning, though, I submitted an article that was of interest to me. Writing takes time, and I write about a lot of different stuff. Your mind just gets going and it takes you away and you get carried away with all the stuff that you're doing. But I hope you heed that advice that I gave you. And we're going to talk a little bit more about self-publishing and marketing and stuff like that as we continue on in this workshop. But in the meantime, in between time, I want you to be blessed. Have a very nice day. Don't give up writing. Don't become discouraged. Don't experience writer's block. If you stumble, go on to another section. Keep moving forward. Keep writing. Writers, what do? Write.